Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flake Show. My name is Chris Wong. Was about to do some kind of DC news, but been looking at these developments for a major Marvel movie that's coming out this year, and that is Avengers Infinity War. I was trying to avoid everything, every single teaser, trailer, not watch as much as I can, not read up as much as I can, but it just keeps going on my Twitter feed, and I just can't help but look at it. And some things are really interesting, and then some things are kind of concerning, all right? So I probably got like 100 dislikes by now just because I have that thumbnail up. I know you are. I know you come at me. Okay, so, well, the first thing is, this actually was an old article, and this is from April 17th, right? This is from Screen Crush. Okay, this is going to be kind of spoilery if my predictions are true, or even the title of this article. If you don't want to even know what's happening about Infinity War, then please do not watch this video. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. But if you're still here, then you don't care, or you're interested to see what people have written. So this is coming from Screen Crush. The title of this article is "A Major Marvel Character Reportedly Dies at the Beginning of Infinity War." Yeah. Now we know a lot of people are saying there's going to be deaths in this movie, and I was predicting that they could kill off everybody and then bring them all back for Avengers 4. They could do the Thanos snap of the finger, all gone. Doctor Strange helps out, or something along that line, right? Or a lot of people think they're going to be killing some major characters, hero characters, but major character, they're saying major character, not necessarily major hero character. So this is what they report. A reliable source tells them a major Marvel character will die at the beginning of Infinity War. Here's more from the source, who describes the death as big in all caps. The beginning of Avengers Infinity War features the death of a major Marvel character. Some fans will be expecting it, while others will be blindsided. It sets a tone for the rest of the movie, as well as the future of the MCU. It's good that the Russo brothers are telling fans to be emotionally prepared for the film, because they'll definitely need to be. Whether you're expecting it or not, it's going to be big. Now, they have been hinting that there's going to be major character deaths, or at least kind of teasing that there's going to be some major implications, and maybe people took that as deaths. I don't know. But I think this is my own idea anyway, right? So this is my own, I don't have any source. I have not watched it or nothing. I think that it's the easiest person that will probably die in the beginning is Loki. Yeah, Loki will die at the beginning, and you kind of that will. And when I talked to her with a friend, he's like, yeah, well, we kind of think that might actually happen. There's two ways of possibly. Loki either joins Thanos, because you see that in the trailer where he has the cube, right? And but Thanos is holding Thor, and then Loki is surrounded by that black. What do you call that group? His followers, right? So. The bad guys. So they've got him in the back, and he's either gonna go with him, or maybe he's gonna do one big sacrifice to save his own brother, like this little bit of redemption to save his brother, right? And then Loki, man, dies, right? And that can be incredibly crushing. I mean, that is major. Like, he's been a beloved character, bad guy, villain turned anti-hero, villain again, hero. So there's so much to that. And I remember going back to Thor Dark World when we thought he died in the middle of the movie, and that was pretty crushing, because you start to feel like, oh, they're getting along. Thor and Loki are getting along. They're working together, and he became a good guy, right? So this is pretty damning. I mean, this is incredibly big in terms of major characters, because he's been there since since Thor, the first Thor movie, and he's been the major part of this whole universe. So, but I can see that there's nothing much for him to go through and on. They could still probably bring him back, with the rest of the Thor's world in Norway, but for this movie, killing him off is good. I mean, that would set off Thanos as a major villain, because I don't think we could be really into saying Thanos is a major player, a major villain, without him doing something really big at the beginning of the movie to set the tone that this is a major villain going out and starting to make trouble, get his stones, kill everybody. He has to do something really damning. So at the beginning, so people are like, oh, we gotta fear this guy. This is the real deal. No one's safe, right? So I'm thinking Loki is gonna die at the beginning. As I think we've seen parts of the trailer where the other people show up. Nebula may die too later on. And Vision, we know, is helped back by Shuri. So there's so many things going on in this movie, and this article is telling us to bring some tissues and stuff. So I'm like, all right, we're getting on the same path here. We're getting good. Now, someone actually made a trailer. Okay, someone made a trailer of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and they used the Avengers Infinity War music, and they cut it together, and I was like, yes, emotionally that's awesome, because in the Lord of the Rings, there was a sense of hopelessness, of desperation, but then they worked together. People died, lots of sacrifices, but they were able to overcome all that by having faith and things like that, but believing in good in the world, right? As Sam would say. So I'm like, okay. I know that wasn't a trailer for Infinity War, but they used Infinity War, and I'm like, that's what I've been thinking this whole time. I've been thinking, if Infinity War, if they play it right, if they play it like it's Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, right? And this is the end of end all. You feel the sense of hopelessness, of desperation, that somber tone, and we couple with this fight scenes of like Civil War, Winter Soldier, the realism of that. Then I'm all in. I'm like, this is gonna be good. This is Russo brothers, right? They make the best Marvel movies out of the aside from Jon Favreau, best Marvel movies in this. So I'm like really good, but something happened. Yes, I know there was a but, and you were waiting for it. Comic Book Resources, put out an article, and I think someone else did in Hollywood Reporter. It says this: Infinity War will be funnier than the Captain America movies. Huh? Like, they've been like promoting who will die and all this somberness and feeling of desperation and hopelessness, and Thanos is a big villain and all that, and then this shows up. So I'm gonna read, and I was like, no, this is just clickbait article. This is just a clickbait title, so I'm just gonna read it. I'm gonna eat the bait. I'm gonna read it. So, and then it starts off. I'm gonna read you this whole thing. So, directors Joe and Anthony Russo won over fans with Captain America: The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War, which are notably more somber than most of the other Marvel Cinematic Universe releases. But Joe Russo assures that Avengers Infinity War will be funnier than the duo's previous two Marvel Studio efforts. So when just that paragraph is just weird, right? Because first it's saying, okay, they won fans over because of Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War more somber tone. But then they say, oh, they're assuring people that it will be funnier than those two movies. Wouldn't that be the opposite? Meaning, if people got won over by the tone that was in Winter Soldier and Civil War, I mean, that was my favorites, then why would you not go that route? You're almost saying we're admittedly gonna lose those fans who are won over by that type of tone, and we're gonna go the other direction, So that got me like, wait, what? That doesn't make sense. And I know you can have some humor in it. Okay, I get humor. Even Lord of the Rings had some humor in it. But there was a time and a place, and the types of jokes were like that, right? And and it got me thinking. I mean, the some of the trailers and TV spots that were, it concerns me. And the 20 minutes that were shown to the public, and yeah, I was thinking, no, it's just the beginning 20 minutes. Come on, they're just throwing you scenes. It's not funny. Don't worry. There's gonna have some funniness, but the people are gonna be dying in this movie, right? And then you read that, you see some of the TV spots, and you're like, oh, I'm not banking on it not to be totally comedic, but I was really banking on more like Winter Soldier, more like Civil War, and a darker, even darker than that, because Thanos, man. Thanos is the end of all, and he is the dark side of the Marvel Universe. How can you be joking about that? So, I'm going to keep reading you this. So, the interview goes on. It says, the Russo brother, I don't know which one, but he says, I think that tone is an underappreciated aspect of filmmaking. He said in an interview with BBC Radio Scotland's The Afternoon Show. In fact, one of the most critical aspects is managing tone, and this film in particular, when egos like this clash between those superheroes, there's bound to be humor. A lot of the characters in this universe diffuse tension with humor, so we knew the movie was going to be very funny. It's very different than Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War in that regard, because the tone of Cap movie is a little bit more serious. Cap is a little more straight-laced and intense, and the world he was in both these movies required he behave that way. So, I don't know. I mean, what? I'm at shock here. Okay, in this film, you've got a lot of, really unique personalities clashing, so we knew we were going to lean into the humor. The way that we balance it in the script phase and on set with the characters, we do a lot of improvisation. We have a lot of very funny people on set, so typically wait for the first take or two. We'll have them stick to script, and then we let them go off script and probably shoot 5 or 6 more takes off script, and then you get in the edit room with all that footage, and you spend hours and hours of combing through it until you find the right combination that balances the tone and gets the humor across, but keeps the stakes moving forward. So this is what I'm afraid of. Like, okay, so if you think about it, when I was looking at a trailer and I could spot Thor going, I was like, oh, his brother's dead, And then you think, if after that he gets floating in space and hits into the Guardians of the Galaxy, and you see that Guardians of the Galaxy scene where Drax is like, oh, this is a man, he's handsome, and stuff like that. It's like, really, jokes already? Like, I want to be able to feel the sorrow. And, granted, I didn't watch the movie yet, but I'm just fearing this, that they're going to play on the death lightly. There's not going to be any time for it. It's just going to switch off to jokey and humor before we even have a chance to even dwell into the sadness and the grief that's Loki's death. Loki. Okay? It's kind of like what they did with Thor Ragnarok, right? The father died. It didn't have time for us to even think about it, and they go to the next thing, and that's the problem, is that when you overlap with so much jokes and humor, you just don't feel the grief, you don't feel the emotion for characters dying. It just feels like, oh, they're dead. There's nothing there. I'll give you a great example for a major character death that we didn't see coming, but he is like a minor character, okay? We've only watched him in a couple movies. And yes, this movie was by Joss Whedon. Yeah. Avengers 1. When Agent Coulson gets killed by Loki, that was brutal. First the shock, then comes the sadness and wondering, is he really gone? Then comes the team actually being affected by it. You see Captain America, you see Tony Stark at the table, you see, okay, so Nick Fury made a fake heart with the blood, but hey, it was effective, and you felt that. They didn't talk much, but you can see it in his eyes, and you actually felt sad. You were tearing up because, like, I didn't really know Agent Coulson, but damn, like, that was something, There was some time for that. It didn't just go straight to joke, Okay, it went straight to getting a team together. This is it. We're gonna take back. And then you felt when Tony Stark says we have the Hulk and everything, and that you mess with my friend, and you that stuff that I miss that. Like I hope they do some of that. I hope because it's Guardians Galaxy. I understand Guardians Galaxy gotta be that funny humor stuff, but they can be emotional and sad too. Even Yondu died, right? Even Yondu died, and having an emotional like that was much more effective than when Taika Waititi, who had no care in the world for all those characters that died. Okay, yeah, Thor's friend just literally got wiped out, and we didn't have a feeling of it. We didn't care because we were waiting for the next joke, and so that's what I'm afraid of when I hear stuff like this. Like there is a time for humor, but I'm hoping they're able to make you grieve and feel that way. Make you angry, make you sad. Make you like worry and things like that. I mean, the Russo brothers can do it. Look when Tony Stark's parents died, right? That whole thing at the beginning. When Tony Stark realized that Bucky killed us, that emotional level that I thought you were my friend, like to Captain America, that kind of stuff. And so those are the moments that are really great for me when it comes to the Marvel universe, right? Avengers 1, that is a great movie. It had humor in it, but it didn't go too slapsticky. It didn't go too slapsticky. They were, and my God, Joss Whedon did that. What happened? But he didn't have much time on Justice League, I guess. For a lot of people said. But in any case, he really should have took on that project. But like this worries me a lot. And then seeing some of the, like I said, teaser, the trailers and stuff, they're making it lightly. They're throwing in the jokes, and I hope when you're watching the movie, I'm like, the jokes there are in the trailer and the spots. That was like it. It's not actually showing you that the whole movie is going to be like. It's going to be dour. It's going to be somber. And I don't want to be a dour and somber just for the sake of being a dour and somber. I'm not that kind of a guy, God. But it's to make Thanos much bigger than he is. To make him much evil, much more powerful, much more impactful as a villain than before, than anything we've ever seen. Like, we've got to literally quiver in our boots. He is like Al Capone. When you see, when you see Untouchables, you see Robert De Niro as Al Capone, you don't know who he's gonna kill whenever he comes on screen. You're fearing for everybody around him. That is fear. And you're fearing for the Untouchables because they could get whacked at any time. That is fear. That's the kind of fear I want from a villain, Steppenwolf wasn't that. Thanos, I hope, is that. Right? I hope Thanos is that. I hope that they could make it that way. I'm not going to put all my chips in it because of what Marvel is turning out to be, but I am hoping that it could be an effective, epic movie, a finale. Wipe out the universe, and then, of course, Disney way of bringing everybody back. But, for this movie, dour, sad, I don't say depressing, but just seeing that lose all hope, so that it makes Thanos into a much bigger villain, and then we can talk about if he's like better than Darth Vader, Then we can talk about how big of a villain is. If you're willing to go there, then go there, man. Just go there. If Cap's gonna die by being crushed by the gauntlet, then go there. Do it. So if you do it, don't make a joke after. Like, oh, who's gonna Captain America now? White Wolf. So I'm happy for the first part of the news. I'm not some dude like, yes, die. I just want Thanos to be portrayed as a larger villain, like he should be, like they claim him to be, and have them for once like down on the ropes. the Avengers, so that when Avengers 4 comes in, and I know it's a continuation. Avengers 4 come in, they'll be back with a vengeance. It's like this is the all when like the deaths in this will be the Agent Coulsons of deaths, right? And then the battle at the the ending battle is like Avengers 4, where we restore hope into our heroes because they're gonna avenge their other members, right? That's why they call them Avengers. They want to avenge. So hopefully that I don't know, turns out the way it was. But anyway, I don't know. What do you guys think about these two news? Have you guys seen some of the TV spots and trailers? Or have ignored them altogether. But anyway, that's just how I feel about Infinity War. I am really looking forward to it. It's coming out next week. Wow, that's wow. Like, I thought it was in May, so, but they moved up. So April 27th, it's coming out, and I probably I don't know if I'm gonna watch it with my kids. I might try to watch it before. I'm gonna have to leave the wife home alone with the kids, but I'm looking forward to it. My friends are looking forward to it. We've been bouncing theories off each other. I don't know if we're gonna make a couple bets. Nah, that's all right. It'll be interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully it'd be really good. Hopefully it's like Two Towers level of good, right? All right, guys. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.